Yo!
Welcome back.
Welcome back. What episode is this, Bacardi?
11, my brother.
11.
Episode 11.
Man, we made it.
Yes, sir.
You know, this all started as something like, it was an attempt, right? It's a risk that we took, and it was a healthy risk.
That's
right.
There's
a healthy risk, there's an unhealthy risk.
Yes, sir.
And it's like, we were just talking off camera on, like, this is something that we do. We don't monetize off this. We don't do this. This is
for the love.
We doing this because we passionate. We are community oriented. We believe in uplifting and motivating people.
We believe in progression and keeping busy, you know.
Say that.
Yes, sir.
11 episodes. You know, I just want you guys to know, like, a lot of people, they might have an idea to start something and then try it and quit, you know, or stop right away. This is something that without any payment, after we are finished working our regular jobs, we come over here and do our show.
Absolutely.
For you guys. But you never know. You guys hit that subscribe button.
Yes, sir.
Hit that like button. Hit that share button. You know, you never know where you guys could take this podcast to, because with your support, we wouldn't be this motivated. Without your support, we wouldn't be this motivated. You guys just keep tuning in. We got an awesome guest for you today. He's one of my guys. He's one of the guys, yo. You know, you ever been around somebody, Bacardi, that's like, his energy might boost your energy?
Absolutely.
Like,
yes, sir.
You might have been having, like, not 100% type of day.
Right. We all been there.
Yeah, we all been there, right? So it's normal. Man, this guy walks in through the building. It doesn't really matter
and
what kind
energy
of
radiates.
What kind of day I'm having.
Yeah.
I gotta have his energy because it's contagious. It's like always happy to be here. You know,
sir.
Have conversations. Sometimes we don't even listen to music. Sometimes our jam pops up. You know, and he knows hip hop too.
Right. Oh,
he got the original. You would appreciate this.
Yes,
he
sir.
got the original purple tape.
Oh, Raekwon the Chef. Oh,
yes,
okay.
The cassette.
Only built for Cuban links.
Yeah,
yes, sir.
So, you know, he's a fan. You know what I mean? He's
sir.
a music fan and knows his music, goes to concerts, enjoys his life. But he's also very professional, takes his job extremely serious.
Right. And he works in the medical field, correct?
He's in the medical field.
Right,
he's actually a radiologist.
Right.
I think that's the title of his job, but we're going to get to all that momentarily. Right. Radiologist, you know, you got to go to school for that.
Absolutely.
You have to be attentive to detail.
Yes, sir.
And I know there's a lot of young, you know, hymns out there, you know, in the, you know, studying to be in the medical industry, right? Like nurses, LPNs, and radiologists, doctors, whatever, you know.
PAs, all types of.
So today we're going to learn a little bit about my guy, you know, his profession, what he does, what gets him going. So without any further ado,
let's welcome him on board.
My boy Spence. Spence, come on over here, will ya? Spence brought me a drink, yo.
Yes, he
shout
did.
out to Body Armor and shout out to Spence.
What's up, fellas?
What's
going on, brother?
Ooh, you saw that?
Yes,
Slow motion.
What's going on, man?
What's going on, brother? Yo, welcome to Shop Talk FCB, episode 11.
Let's give Spencer a round of applause for being here, please.
Hey, yes. If I'm correct, this is Spencer's first podcast, right?
This is, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Nice. Introduce yourself. They already know your name is Spence. Let the world know who you are.
So my name's Spencer. I heard you guys talking a little bit. My job title is I'm an MRI technologist over at Nathan Latour.
Awesome.
I work for a company. I work there a couple times a week, and then I go to Cobalskill, work there once a week, work like 13-hour shifts typically. I'd rather do that, honestly.
Right.
Have the days off. I've told Mike this like several times because I come in during the week usually and get cuts on my days off. But yeah, that's my job title. That's what I do.
How many years of school does it take to be an MRI? Is that MRI technician? That's what it is?
Yeah.
Okay.
I went to school for 2 years of prereqs at FM. Just got like some sciences, some math classes out of the way and stuff like that I needed for the program.
And just so you guys know, Nathan Latour is a local hospital right here in Gloversville, and FMCC is a local community college.
Yes, sir.
I'm so grateful to have those types of organizations in the local community because, I mean, he's taken that little bit of education and then continued it. Go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you off. I
No,
just
you're
needed
good.
to get that information out there because we love FM. We love Nathan.
Yes.
All right.
So then I did 2 years after that of the radiology program. So basically what that entailed is the first year you do 3 days of classwork. So it's like Monday, Wednesday, Friday you're in class. And then Tuesdays and Thursdays you're at the hospital like learning how to do the job. So you're learning how to take x-rays and stuff like that. And then once you graduate the program, you have to take the boards, and if you pass the boards, you can move on to like, you know, CAT scan, MRI, different modalities within like the imaging field. I was always interested in MRI. That's kind of what I wanted to do from the get-go. In my first 2 years at FM, I played soccer, so my second year, like, I broke my leg playing soccer.
Oh, wow.
And that kind of like upped my interest a little bit. Like, I kind of wanted to do something in the hospital, but I didn't want to be a nurse. So that was like the next best thing. So that's how I got interested in doing that.
Now, a lot of people, have you ever thought about like the MRIs? People think about the radiology and the nervousness that goes, oh, damn, should I even get an MRI? Do I want to get exposed to? And this is kind of like a misconception that I wasn't aware of, because I had to ask him that during the haircut. I said, yo, can I ask you a question real quick? So can you clarify that whole scenario?
So basically with x-rays and CAT scan, you're getting radiation. But with x-ray, you're getting like a minimal amount nowadays, because it's like all digital. It's not like how it used to be where you had to develop the film. You have to use a lot more exposure. But CAT scan uses like a good amount of radiation, but MRI doesn't use any. So like think of like channel 3 on your TV, like the reception that you get from that. That's kind of like the radio waves that are involved with MRI.
Okay.
All right, we was talking about, I was telling Bacardi, like, the energy that, you know, when you come in, it's always like, you know, you always happy and upbeat and like, yo, smiling and contagious and all that. So I know that it isn't always peaches and cream. You know, so what kind of journey are you on right now before we even get deep?
Just a few months ago, probably like 4 or 5 months ago, I kind of like got more into like reading and like listening to podcasts and stuff like that. And one guy that really stuck with me was, I listened to a lot of Joe Rogan, like he's my guy. So he had this guy on there, David Goggins.
Who's that? Who's Joe Rogan? Just
kidding. So he had 2 episodes with this guy named David Goggins, and he's a super intense, like retired Navy SEAL, like Army Ranger, like he's done it all, ultra marathons, like this dude is crazy. So I kind of got like hooked on to him because I've always been into working out. But like he talks about like having open-mindedness to like kind of take it to the next level, tapping into that part of your brain that like a lot of people don't use to like go that extra that, you know, nobody else is really gonna go. So,
because I mean people will run 10 miles and say, man, that's it. But I heard David Goggins one time, man, and shout out to David Goggins. You gotta email my boy back. He emailed you. He got the receipts. He took, man, we're gonna get into that challenge that he accomplished in a second. But David Goggins, yo, I was listening to him like give a speech one time, and he's like, I hope it rains. I hope the storm gets darker, and I hope the drill instructor says another 10 miles, and I hope he says we keep going. And I was like, you know, and not knowing, but still keeping going. You know what I mean? And that's kind of like what he brings to the table, right? What to tap into what you're capable of right when you're ready to quit.
So it's interesting. He has this book, Can't Hurt Me. That's his first book. It sold like over like 5 million copies. In the book, he has a section of the book. It's called Taking Souls, and it's basically about like doing stuff that you don't want to do, but getting energy off of people, like seeing you doing stuff that you don't want to do, and gaining that energy from them. Like knowing, what are you doing running at 4 o'clock in the morning, or why are you working out 7 o'clock at night after like a 13-hour shift? Like getting the energy from people telling you like, what are you doing, like you're crazy. Gives you the energy to keep going.
The motivation.
It kind of gives you like a satisfaction in a way that you're out doing stuff that other people aren't going to do.
Because it's easy to come home from work and just sit back and be a couch potato and not do anything.
Exactly.
But for you to go out there and take that initial step and start exercising and just start doing routines, I think that's a great thing.
Too, absolutely. You know, like forget about like the physical shape that you're gonna give yourself, but the mental reward, I accomplished something. Like what is better than that? You know what I'm saying? Like that's why I love my drives home on Saturdays. When we film, I feel so accomplished. Like man, we did that.
Exactly.
You know?
Like it doesn't have to be fitness. It can be anything.
It can be anything.
Just doing something that's challenging yourself every day, something that you don't want to do, or something that, you know, is extra, is pushing your brain to get stronger and your mentality to get stronger.
Speaking of challenging, tell Bacardi the challenge that you just started and accomplished, finished.
There's this challenge that David Goggins put out. He wrote another book. There's this guy, Jesse Itzler, a long story short, he owned the Atlanta Hawks. And he had Goggins live with him for the month. And so when he had Goggins live with him for a month, he just made him do stuff that like was just treacherous. So one day it was like a blizzard outside. He's like, all right, so we're gonna run 4 miles every 48 hours, and that's it. He's like, well, I gotta work and stuff like that. He's like, no, you don't. We're gonna do this. So there's this thing, the Goggins challenge. You run 4 miles every 4 hours for 48 hours. So back in December, I ended up doing that, and I ended up running like an even 50 miles because I ran a little extra on something, just to say, hey, say I ran 50
Yes,
miles.
yes, absolutely.
He ain't stunting, guys. He was able to.
Yeah, that's it.
So I started at like 10 o'clock on Friday night, and then I would go out 2 o'clock in the morning.
Right.
Then my next run would be at 6 a.m.
Wow.
And so on and so forth every 4 hours.
Right.
And it was just mentally one of the hardest things I've ever done, but it gave me a lot of confidence moving forward because I've been training for like a marathon and stuff like that.
Right.
I've always been into like working out and weightlifting, but I just needed some new goals and challenges.
Absolutely.
So like I was getting tired of doing the same monotonous stuff all the time.
Right.
So that's what reading Goggins' book and stuff like that did, just opened my mind to doing new stuff.
That's great.
That's
awesome.
Yeah, that's
absolutely.
a little give another round
Yes,
of applause.
absolutely.
That's not an easy challenge. That's not an easy challenge.
That's not at all.
Now, you have any other challenges in the works? Anything else that you see yourself setting a goal for, and then obviously accomplishing? You just mentioned marathon.
Yeah, so I've ran 2 half marathons so far. I'm running another one next weekend. And then after that, I plan on training for a full marathon in April. And then I wanted to run another marathon in September. But in between that, I wanted to try to do an ultra marathon, which is like a 30-mile trail run.
We're going to follow his
This guy's a beast.
Yeah, we're going to make sure we follow Spencer. We'll drop his Instagram handle for you.
Yeah, all his social media will be in the description.
And we're going to follow his journey because we're going to hold him accountable to what you just heard him say. You know what I'm saying?
Now, where are the locations for all these marathons that you're going to be running?
The next one I'm doing next weekend, my parents, they're retired, so they're going down to a timeshare for about a month. I made plans a while ago to go see them, but I'm splitting it up. I'm doing half in Fort Lauderdale and half in Clearwater with them. While I was in Fort Lauderdale, there happened to be a half marathon there, so I was like, why
that's
not?
awesome. And Clearwater is a beautiful place. I've been there. We vacationed there. I love it.
I've never been.
Awesome.
I've never been. While you were running
4 miles every 4 hours.
Yeah, when you were doing that challenge, that was easier to say. Did you have like someone that was by you, maybe supporting you, like pushing you? You know?
Oh yeah.
Who's
do you know Jamal Vasquez?
Of course I know Jamal. Shout out Jamal.
Jamal's the man. I try to run with him at least like a few times a month because he's an animal. Like,
really?
He runs more than I do, and he's way faster than I am.
Wow.
But
shout out Jamal. So he kept you going?
He ran like half of it with me, and both mornings at 2 o'clock in the morning, he ran with me. Like the worst times.
Imagine waking up like, yo, come on.
You know,
we gotta,
like what?
We gotta run.
But we have plans to do it this summer at some point, whenever our schedules match up. So
and you know the reason why I asked, man, because like everybody needs a little bit of a support system, right? Like,
yeah, for sure.
And having someone like a good friend let you know, not only am I gonna push you, but I'm gonna go ahead and join you on some of this.
Right.
That's freaking awesome, man. Shout out to the real people out there, Jamal.
Yes. Oh yeah, he's an
MVP, bro, and you're an animal.
There's another guy too, Jordan Buck. He's an animal.
That's what's up.
But he's trying to run a 50-mile race coming up. It's called the JFK 50 in November. But he's trying to run it at like 7-minute per mile pace for the whole 50 miles. Like he is an animal.
JFK as in JFK?
Yeah, so it's one of the first ultra marathons that was out there. Basically, the history behind that, JFK when he was president was like, all right, well everybody in the service should be able to run like an ultra marathon 50 miles.
Wow.
So all these 50-mile ultra marathons started, and that's like the original one.
Yeah.
So he's trying to go there and finish top 10 and put his name out there. So he's been
awesome.
getting after it.
Yeah,
So
I've been like diving deep into JFK documentary. So when I heard him say, wait, as in JFK?
Yeah,
man.
Totally
Shout
different
out to
subject,
JFK,
but that's
man.
something else we probably could touch on one day.
Yeah, we will. We have to touch up on that.
Yeah.
Maybe somebody
the
that was
history of
alive.
that
in
is
that era.
Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely. Now, during some of these, like I said, it's not always rainbow, right? It's not always sunshine.
Nope.
What's something that you may have gone through that may have put a damper in the mood, yet you still said, nah, this ain't gonna stop me. I gotta keep going. You know, we all got obstacles. We all got hurdles.
Everyone.
Mental ones.
Yes.
You know, like, is there something that may have tried to slow you down, but you showed that it couldn't?
Not really. I mean, I had a little breakup at one point. That kind of like more or less lit a fire under my ass.
Right.
Yeah. Oh man, breakups suck. Dude.
Yeah.
Nah.
Absolutely.
My buddies call it the forbidden pre-workout. So it basically unlocks like a new level. And,
Right.
That's kind of how this whole thing started.
Right.
But now it's not even about that. It's just about accomplishing these goals that I want to do for myself.
Oh, yeah.
That's
And
awesome.
it opened my mind to like a whole new level. And it honestly was a nice little journey because mentally I feel like I'm way stronger, way
That's
happier.
great.
Like
No
I'm
doubt,
in a good
no
spot.
doubt.
That's
Hell
great.
Yeah,
That's
bro.
great. That's great.
Hell yeah.
Yes, sir.
And he make me want to work out. Yeah, I get tired talking about running though.
Like anytime. I'll
That's
work out with
what's
you
up.
anytime.
Oh, that's what's up, yo. Appreciate that, man.
Absolutely.
Now, I was gonna ask. You say you've been reading a lot of books. Is there any possibility that maybe you could get your journey out there, there or a journey out there, would you ever consider writing a book? I mean, reading all these books, I feel like at some point you're reading something, you'd be like, man, I
everyone
write
has
something
a story.
like this. Everybody has a cool story.
I don't know, man. It's hard to say because I read these guys' stories and then I listen to audiobooks on my way to work, like if I'm working in Cobalt skill and stuff like that. And these guys are like, they served and they're some hard dudes, like way harder than I am. So it's like, I don't know. I feel like they inspire me to be on a certain level, but they'll always be in their own category type of thing.
No doubt. There's someone out there though that is a younger version of you though. You know, there's some. That's what I believe. Is that there's a younger version of you out there, and he may be like
can identify with you.
He may have heard of a X-ray tech. He may have heard of an MRI. He may have received one of those services. You know, but maybe he doesn't really know. You know how to pursue it. Maybe he doesn't have the same motivations. There's a younger version of you out there. He might be listening. He might be watching. He might be interested in the MRI field. What's something that you might be able to tell that listener that is maybe experiencing a hurdle, a speed bump, maybe something that might be hindering or slowing him down? You know, what's something that you can tell him to let him know, yo, you could do it?
It's okay to have hurdles. You actually want hurdles. You want obstacles because that's where your mind's going to grow. That's where you're going to get stronger. Honestly, that's how you get better. How would you not get better if you're just doing the same thing, the honest thing every day, and have challenges and obstacles in front of you?
That's freaking awesome, bro. That's so awesome.
Yes,
I mean, because you learn from them.
Exactly.
Yes,
man, we got the one and only Spencer in the house, bro. Yeah, we be kicking it about all sorts of subjects, wide range, right? We touch on
Bro, I love when Mike cuts my hair because it's like we chop it up the whole entire time. Let a second go by where we're not talking about something.
Absolutely.
Time goes by fast, and he's looking crispy.
Yes,
my man came over here fly.
See.
He came and got a haircut today, right? Oh, yeah, he came today. Man,
I couldn't hop on here looking dusty. Like, I gotta do something.
It worked. I didn't even know I could do that. Yeah, that's official.
I was telling him his attention to detail is crazy.
Yes, absolutely. He's a great barber.
Thank you, my brother. I appreciate that. You know, it takes time. It takes practice, and it takes messing up. You know, like you said, hurdles. Not every haircut is as easy as the last one. You know, you got to get over that fear of getting that kind of obstacle because it's coming anyway. You got to face it anyway. You just get better at it, and before you know it, I'll receive a compliment like I just did. You know, being attentive to detail, and I do pride myself in that. So I'm glad y'all noticed it. Thank y'all. I appreciate that.
Absolutely. There's a reason why we keep coming back.
Yes, sir.
That's what's up. So how do you feel coming into a podcast on a Saturday afternoon? Like, this is so different, right?
Bro, I was looking forward to it because I'm going on vacation, like I said, Wednesday. So it's a nice little kickback, chill before I work hard for the Monday, Tuesday, and then leave. Like, it's nice to just like kick it back and just relax.
That's what's up, man. And it's not even like, you guys gotta know, we don't rehearse nothing. You don't see no books next to me with notes, right?
Nope.
We just having a regular conversation.
That's all it is.
Because we can have a regular conversation, you know? And that's what it's about. That's why it flows so natural. Just like Spencer, man, we gotta have you guys on the show. Please, if you are interested
reach out.
Sitting on the couch with us, they call them the Oprah couches now. But if y'all want to, join us, man, please let us know. Reach out to Bacardi, reach out to me. We want you on because it doesn't matter what type of walk of life you are on or what walk of life you were on.
Yeah.
We want you here. We want to hear your story, man. We want to, we don't want nobody that wants to come here with their strippers.
Yeah.
This ain't that. Wrong podcast.
No drama.
Yeah. I had a guy who was like, yo, you should let me on your podcast. And I said, okay, what we gonna talk about?
Right.
He said, yo, let's give the people what they want to see. Strippers, let's get the girls dancing. I would throw money. I said, you got to go to Schenectady for that one. Yeah, I'm sorry, but wrong podcast.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Positive, uplifting, motivational.
Absolutely.
We want to hear your inspirational stories, because it helps me keep going too. It helps me know that there's room for more for me. There's room for more for us, and this is why we're doing this. Is because we know that we're trying to tap in, David Goggins. We're trying to tap. We're trying to tap in. My man emailed you though.
Reach out.
Please respond to my guy.
I know
bro.
your email's flooded, but we're letting you know.
When I say receipts, it's because he took screenshots of the mileage that he ran, and then let it be known.
There's this app called Strava. It's pretty cool. It's linked to your Apple Watch.
Okay.
So like when you go out for a run, it tracks your run, and like you can see your whole entire route.
Wow.
So
Strava?
Yeah, Strava.
Okay.
I'll show you real quick. Actually, it's pretty neat though. Like it shows you your route, it shows you your pace and everything like that, and it's linked right to your watch.
That's great.
You know, it shows.
Show the camera right there.
Look at that.
Just a little bit. Just a little run.
Look at the link distance right there. Look
just
at that.
a little run.
Just a little run.
But it shows you your pace.
Right.
And it shows you like your elevation. It shows you your time and stuff like that.
That's pretty cool.
It's a cool little tool. I like using it.
Heck yeah.
Awesome.
Heck yeah. We'll have to give him a little shout out
definitely,
too.
definitely.
Include a link for Strava.
Yes, sir.
Making it real easy for runners to keep track of stuff.
I got my Strava link on there.
Nice.
I have my Strava link on my Instagram too, because people got to see the receipts.
Absolutely.
Hey, they got to see the receipts.
100% right.
Say that. Yo, this is episode 11, guys.
Yes, sir.
Yo, we did it. And we got more coming for you, man. We got a little calendar set up on the side, dry erase board. Bacardi said he likes it.
Yes, sir.
So we trying to plan things out. We got
Yes,
the next guest and the following one already lined up. We looking forward to those and the ones after. Like I said, when you see these episodes drop, hit us up if you're interested in joining us,
Yes,
man.
sir.
We want to hear your story,
Everyday
man.
people.
How did you do it? What sparked the interest? You know, we want to hear about it, man.
That's right.
All right. Thank you for joining us, Spencer.
Absolutely.
For real,
Yes,
man.
sir.
Appreciate you, my brother.
Always good to
It was
see
a
you.
pleasure,
Yes,
man.
sir.
Nice to
Thank you
meet
so
you.
much. You too as well, sir.
All right,
Definitely.
all right. Episode 11, baby.
Let's go. Keep in contact. You already know what it is.
Sir.
Like and subscribe.
Like, subscribe, hit
Yes,
the
sir.
notification button. Bing. You know,
Yes,
that
sir.
way you know that we got a new video on the way
Yes,
or
sir.
about to be.
And keep an eye out for the merch. We got cups, we got t-shirts, we got stickers, we got everything.
We got
So
mugs.
let's go.
Shop
man.
Talk.
Shop
I like
Talk,
it.
that's
I
right.
like it.
Yes, sir. We have some t-shirts coming, some hoodies coming.
Yes, sir.
I was gonna get like the regular sweaters, but just get hoodies and tees.
hoodies and
then
tees.
for the guest, Spencer doesn't know this, but I'll fill him in. We have
Customized.
one of one
Mm-hmm.
tees coming for all the guests.
For
Hey.
each guest.
It'll say their name under the logo
And the episode number.
and your episode number. So his is gonna say
That's
Spencer episode 11.
Yes,
I
sir.
appreciate you guys.
Yeah, no, we
Absolutely.
appreciate
We
you
appreciate
too.
you,
Seriously,
man.
thank you for taking time out of your Saturday to come and join
Yes.
us,
No
man,
doubt.
with our shenanigans
Yes.
over here.
Once Mike said, "Yo, you got to be on the podcast sometime," I was like, "Yeah, let's
All
do
right.
it."
Hell yeah, that's
awesome.
so awesome,
That's
man.
awesome.
Thank you, guys. Thank
Let's give
you all.
Spencer one round of applause before he leaves, please, because he was a great guest. Thank you for coming
But in
on.
real life,
Yes,
too.
yes, absolutely.
All right.
All right, guys.
Yes,
Stay
sir.
tuned. Have
Stay
a good one.
tuned.
Peace.